Every woman having a baby needs a midwife. That's because we know that women who are cared by a known midwife have greater confidence in their ability to birth naturally, have improved outcomes for themselves and their babies, and have a greater readiness for parenting. As well as that, midwives are cost effective. We've already heard attestation to that. In Australia, there are around 300,000 babies born every year, which is why it makes such good sense to expand the health promotion toolkit of the midwife through the development of this education package on continence. The pelvic floor has long been an enigma for many women, and many come to pregnancy blissfully unaware of its significance in their future, let alone in their current life. A number of women will also come to pregnancy with pre-existing continence issues, such as leaking when they cough, sneeze or run, unaware that they are not everyday occurrences and that they could potentially be improved. Midwives are in the ideal position to help women to understand the nature and role of their pelvic floor and the importance of it for their pregnancy and also for the rest of their life. But if we're to believe the current advertising specifically targeted at women, then we would think that it's perfectly normal for women to experience continence issues. Long gone are the days where the ads were as clunky and uncomfortable as the pads were themselves large. Today's female continence sufferers are portrayed as young, confident women who have a variety of laughs, snorts, honks, giggles or belly laughs. They exercise, laugh, sneeze, cough and play with their children without care, all because they have the protection of a super slim, almost invisible pad specifically designed for continence that is so good they almost don't know it's there. In addition, these women are not at all fazed with others knowing about their issue. It now has a snappy new acronym to describe it, LBL, or light bladder leakage, and this can be happily broadcast to all and sundry in the supermarket. That's not to say that pads are not required, they are. And the slimmer, more comfortable and less noticeable they are, the better for the women. It's a fantastic achievement that the development of these products has come so far as to be unobtrusive, convenient and light-heartedly packaged, as they have provided thousands, if not millions of women around the world an ability to carry on with their lives. Where once women might have stayed at home or been required to time their outings between toilet stops or changes of pads, they can now access a wide range of products tailored to meet the varying requirements and degrees of continence issues that occur. However, with ads such as these and no other visible education available, there's a real risk that the future mothers, the children of this generation, will further associate continence issues with normality and not seek help. Further, women who do have continence issues and feel concerned about it and want help may feel even more isolated and unwilling to seek help, ashamed that they do not accept their condition with the same carefree attitude of those women seen in the ads. Our college, the Australian College of Midwives, does not think it's appropriate for women and society to be led to believe that it's normal or just okay or can be fixed so simply. It would be helpful to inject subliminal education messages around seeking help. Women need to be actively informed of the importance of their pelvic floor and that continence issues are not normal and that they need referral, and in many cases it can be resolved or improved with specialist help and, of course, some work on their part. Ideally, this education would start at the same time as they are exposed to the advertising that tells them how to fix the problem, that is, wearing the pads, or in their school curriculum even, before they get to an age of having children. Starting young with good pelvic floor habits could potentially change their future LBL career. The reality is very different, as the first time many women learn about their pelvic floor is when they become pregnant, and the midwife starts to ask them about it, and hopefully with this education package and some role modelling, we'll see an expansion of that. Pregnancy is an amazing time for women, and a time when they are particularly motivated about their own health. It's an ideal time for learning and for initiating changes in their lifestyle This is evidenced by the targeted campaigns for smoking and drinking in pregnancy. It's the perfect time for the myths about LBL to be dispelled and useful and valuable information and skills to be taught to women about their pelvic floor. As midwives provide care to women from preconception through to the postnatal period, and will often see them again for subsequent pregnancies, there is a period of at least 6 to 9 months where information can be shared and reinforced. This provides multiple opportunities for the sharing of knowledge and advice specifically targeted at pelvic floor health and care, a unique experience in the medical setting. Women trust their midwives to provide them with suitable and appropriate information. The Australian College of Midwives believes this information should be of the highest standard and perhaps evidence-informed rather than evidence-based necessarily. The new Continence course that's been developed with the Continence Foundation of Australia aims to provide midwives with the knowledge and evidence with which to shape the information and education they share with the women they care for. By starting at the basics, this course sets the basis for the midwives' learning by unpacking the pelvic floor structure and location. It provides details about the significance and requirements of the pelvic floor for overall health maintenance. It provides details on how the pelvic floor may be damaged and identifies ways that it can be protected, repaired and maintained to ensure optimal function. Issues that require referral are identified, and most importantly, it is reiterated time and time again that continence issues are not normal and should be addressed. They need to be reviewed, and in some instances, the women must be referred for additional support and care. As an aside, midwives themselves, being predominantly women, will also learn to better care for their own pelvic floor, and I'm hoping most of us in the room will do so too. Midwives are renowned for working long hours and shifts without regular trips to the toilet, or indeed no trips to the toilet all shift, being poorly hydrated as a result of being caught up in their role, and even pushing empathetically with the women in their care. It can't be good for them. It becomes a matter of practicing what you preach. Whilst the ideal would be a world where continence issues do not occur, the reality is that they do. What midwives can now do, with the aid of this course, is to gain a greater understanding of the pelvic floor and incorporate that knowledge into their discussions with women to improve Australian women's pelvic floor outcomes. I congratulate the Continence Foundation of Australia on this work, and we're very grateful, and we thank them on behalf of the Australian College of Midwives. Thank you very much.